And you've been busy this summer, a little bit. You're getting back out now. You're out today with a trio. I saw you at Westman. That was you and Patricia, and is it Jamie?
No, Patricia's son Julian.
Julian, sorry.
Yeah.
Patricia's son Julian, fantastic piano player.
Yeah, he's an amazing piano player, and it's funny because he's never played in a band before. He's never sung before. And anyone who's seen me play in the last dozen years would know that I had my nephew Jeremy playing with me, and Jeremy's an awesome piano player. Played with me for about a dozen years on piano, and when he left, I thought, how are we ever going to find somebody to fill those shoes, because he's so great. We tried a few piano players out, and it just wasn't working. And I said, well, Julian plays piano, but he's never played anything outside of classical, and I'll give him a shot. And he blew me away. I couldn't believe how well he filled the role, and he's every bit as good as Jeremy, but in a different way.
Yeah, his skill as an accompanist, and being an accompanist doesn't mean that you know how to play your instrument well. It means you know how to listen.
Yeah.
And he did that so well last night. He's younger. I'm not sure
he's
how
only
old.
20. Yeah.
He's only 20.
Yeah.
But the smile on his face through the whole evening, he's loving it.
Yeah,
he's really enjoying what he's doing.
He's so much fun to have on stage, and Patricia's son, so it kind of and it blends really well.
And the family band thing is, it's the best of all worlds, right?
Yeah, we're having a blast.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So thanks for coming by and taking the time to chat with us. Is there anything that we missed? You got anything coming up that you want to talk about, or anything that's been happening recently that's sort of...
Well, like I said, got these albums coming out, some new videos coming out, and we just released a video. I should talk about that.
For Sequoia.
No.
That's an older one. Sorry.
That's Sequoia's from Time Travel. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
Video about Sequoia and trees and the environment, and
it's a wonderfully shot video.
We filmed that down in the Sierra Nevada just before COVID hit. We went down there, Patricia and I, and it was amazing. Nothing quite prepared me for singing that song among those elders of the planet at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was very emotional. Actually, it took me a bunch of tries just to get through it. I was so moved to be in the forest singing that song. So that's on YouTube. But the more recent one is a song that I wrote for a woman who's become a good friend of ours. Her name is Kirsten Newshafer.
Okay.
And she's from South Africa. She's an amazing adventurer sailor. And she has done all kinds of crazy things, like bicycled all the way from Portugal to South Africa all by herself through Africa. But she decided she wanted to sail around the world in this amazing race called the Golden Globe Race. It's one sailor in a small boat all the way around the world. Once you leave port, you can't touch land. Once you can't resupply, you have no communication with the outside world. You have no navigation other than pre-1967, because that's the year of the first race.
Wow.
And it was crazy. She found a boat in Newfoundland that needed work. She was supposed to go to Maine, but she couldn't make it. It was during COVID. There was all kinds of restrictions. She made it as far as PEI. So she comes to PEI, falls in with a bunch of Acadians mostly, and who, one guy in particular who helped her, spent a year working on her boat, getting it ready. And we became friends while she was there. She used to come to our shows, and we had dinner together a number of times. And then she left PEI a year later, in the month of January. She left PEI, sailed all by herself in January from PEI down to South America, and then across the Atlantic to South Africa to see her family, back up to France where the race starts, before the race started.
Wow.
All by herself. Then the race starts, 16 entrants from all over the world, countries from all over the world. She was the only female, the only woman in this race. And it's a dangerous race. It's a crazy race. A couple of boats sank. Only 3 boats legally finished the race. I say that because a couple of others had damages, had to go to port. Once you touch land, you're out of the race. But she won the thing. It was amazing. And when she was going around Cape Horn, I was you could follow her by satellite every day. We would check in with 3 or 4 times a day, follow her race. We were so excited for her. And she had no idea she was in first place. She had no idea.
They wouldn't know because
you can't communicate.
Yeah.
Unless it's super, super dangerous, they tell you it was a tornado coming or something, But, and she had no idea she was in first place, and she had no idea I wrote a song about her until she got into port after going all the way around the world. She got to port in France. And they're nuts about racing in France. They're crazy about sailing. So thousands and thousands of people were there to greet as she came in first place. And when she pulled into the port, they were playing my song, blasting it through the sound system to her. So
And had she heard the song before?
She hadn't heard it. She didn't know I wrote a song.
So she pulls into port, winning this world race to a song that you wrote that she's hearing for the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So and you can see the song on YouTube. We did a video for it. She's in it, and everybody who helped her on PEI is in it, all singing on the end of the song.
Is the video up now?
It's up now.
It's up already. Okay, great.
It's got like 80,000 views right now.
I'll put the link up to it in the interview as well. Yeah, Send You Flower. That's great. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of, the boat is called the Minnehaha, which means the laughing waters. So everybody,
nice.
So at the end of the song, everybody's going ha 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 ha. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a story. The boating around the world it seems like like a small thing when you look at all the other things that sort of came together to make that into a moment. At the end. That's
Well, she had to in the race. She had to deviate from her course for a day and a half to go and save. So she had to go and rescue a guy whose boat suddenly sank. And he was in a tiny little raft, so she goes and rescues him, puts him on a freighter, and still wins the race. She's a hero. She's amazing.
Good fodder for a song. I can't wait to hear that one.
And the only woman in the race. I think that's so cool.
That's great. That's great. So you're going to play a song for us today.
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce the song, and then I'll do a quick reset on the mic and the camera, and we'll capture it. But what are you going to play for us?
I think I had to do this song because, like you, I was a good friend of Ron's, and we hung out together and did shows together and stuff. And we always claimed we were going to write a song together. We started one. I hope to finish it at some point. But you have Ron's guitar here.
I have the Ron guitar, and I call it the Ron guitar because he's sitting right there. Yeah. A little bit of his ashes, which I inherited after he passed away, and it's been living in this guitar ever since. And this is the guitar that I recorded the Ron record with, and I've done all the touring with. So yeah,
that blows me away.
It's
because I wrote this song. I went to Ron's funeral in Newfoundland. It was an amazing event. It was.
I know. It was incredible.
It was incredible. All kinds of people got up and spoke about Ron or sang for Ron, and all these Newfoundland dogs outside the church and standing guard, and as you know, that night we all went down to the hotel and everybody sang songs, sang a couple of Ron songs in honor, and then some of us ended up going down to the ship in after and singing some more stuff. And I ended up stumbling home, I don't know, around 2 o'clock in the morning or something in the hotel, and I wrote this song that night.
Wow.
And it's called Saying Goodbye to Ron, and you got his guitar, man, so I got.
Well, excellent. Well, give me a sec here to reset this, and then we'll hear Saying Goodbye to Ron.
Saying Goodbye to Ron. I've been walking around St. John's tonight like I've been under a spell, 'cause I feel like a part of him is still here, making his last farewell. I can hear his voice all over town, in every shop and bar, in every phone call from away, no matter how near or far. We're saying goodbye to Ron. There's a melody down on George Street, dancing on the wind. It twists and turns like a candle, fighting with the fog bank rolling in. And everybody's singing, Sonny, don't go away. You took the words right out of my mouth, told me what I meant to say. We're saying goodbye to Ron. They're tearing up the streets all over town, change is rolling in. There's boys on the bay with a tin can begging for a way to feed the mess they're in. There's no love for the fallen when you're all alone and dry, and you'd sell your guitar for a sliver of peace, never mind asking why. We're saying goodbye to Ron. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Sonny, don't go away. We're here all alone, and your daddy's a sailor coming home. Oh, the cabbie glanced in the back seat, 'cause he thought he heard something there. And he drove to the top of Signal Hill like he had a ghost for a fare. And the radio played No Kathleen and the story of my life. And the wind carried Atlantic blue to the lost souls in the night. Oh, sing goodbye to Ron. And everybody's singing, Sonny, don't go away. You took the words right out of my mouth, told me what I meant to say. We're saying goodbye to Ron. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Great to play on this guitar, I can tell you that.
It's special. Thank you so much, and thanks for making sure it's right too.